Hi, look, I'd just like to say welcome to PLP. I'm not sure what you're expecting, but I can say that this will change your life. Why did I create the PLP solutions? I've been literally working on this program for over 20 years. Many years I started writing a book to help people with their relationships. And then I had a beautiful friend, suicide, a guitarist, and it just destroyed me. And I thought I just wanted to create a book where I felt could really help people who are really stuck, help them, you know, um, get away from depression, help them really connect to life, help them start to live. I felt that through the course of my life that I'd made certain changes and done certain things along with learning counselling that had really made a difference. And there were certain tools that were just so helpful and so pivotal. I felt like there's so much to do with the subconscious. There's so many ways that we can change the way we think, so many ways we can change what we want and getting what we want. It's just so many great secrets. I had a look at my life and realized that I'd really changed a lot of things. When I first got married, I felt hopeless. I felt like it was the world against me. I wanted to be a singer. I felt powerless. And it's all these feelings and all these negative experiences and having a hard childhood and having the trauma. It's these situations that made me just really desperately want to help people who are stuck, people who are trapped. So I went on after my first book and saw the wonderful changes in people's relationships. I went on to create the second book. It was such an exciting book because Are You Listening? Life is Talking to You brought in elements of counseling, psychology, the law of attraction, quantum physics, hypnosis, the subconscious, basically the way that we are and how do we change it and what's impacting us. That's why it's called Are You Listening? Life is Talking to You. And this book was such a journey because I'd be working with clients. And one of the most special situations I went through was a beautiful client who had depression. And he read 160 pages of that book. And he went from suicidal to feeling connected again. There's so many things that have happened. That book has saved so many lives. It's just incredible. But still, I felt like I could do more. And then I started working in the job agency field. And I started working, I work with Mission Providence, I work with Connect, I work with APM. I worked, and there's probably more, but they're the three that I can think of. And over those few years, I worked with some of the most crippled, devastatingly sad clients I've ever met. And so in that time, and for the a couple of years before that, I just wanted to find out everything I could about anxiety, about PTSD. I felt like I really had the understanding around depression. And I really felt like I had a great understanding on thoughts in the subconscious and how to change that. But I just needed to know everything I could about anxiety, about panic attacks. I had so many clients. It was just like they were all lining up with such severe problems. I had people that were suffering because they'd been in head on collisions, people with acquired brain injuries, just so many things. And to add to this thirst of knowledge, I also spent some years researching and learning and being trained in brain spotting, which is an amazing technique which helps you get into the subcortical part of the brain so you can start to shift the emotions that are causing the PTSD. I work with many people, and I can say without hesitation of a doubt, I have cured depression many times. I have helped people reduce their anxiety symptoms. I have cured PTSD. Probably the most exciting client for PTSD for curing was there was one man that was trapped in a fire. It was coming towards him, and he was having a lot of agoraphobia because of that situation. So we did the trauma release on him, and at the time that was brain spotting. And then I worked with a client who'd been to Afghanistan 3 times. And you can only imagine the amount of trauma that he had. He had PTSD, and he was actually split up from his wife, living in a camper trailer because of his anger issues. So we had to do 7 sessions and it worked. And in the end, he ended up going back with his wife and his PTSD is cured. So there's just so many amazing, amazing stories. But then I still wanted to know more. I wanted to know about addiction. I wanted to understand from a neuroscience perspective, from an autonomic nervous system perspective. I wanted to understand my clients who had sex addiction, my clients who had marijuana addiction, ice addiction, heroin addiction, alcohol addiction, and much more, workaholism. So I researched and researched and researched to find out why people have addiction. And I learnt about the reward pathways at the start of their life, the change in their brain. And that normally happens when they've got trauma and they've got a nervous system that's out of control. And of course, the addiction is the escape. It's the dopamine that explodes in their brain and it stops them feeling the feelings that they don't want to feel. Sometimes it's connection, as Gabor Mate says. Sometimes it's that warm hug. So, many heroin addicts have talked about heroin being that hug. So, and ice, of course, is that being powerful and explosive. So I really wanted to learn as much as I could. My thirst for knowledge was just insatiable. And so finally, I got to the stage where I felt like I had a complete understanding of depression and why people would get it, an understanding of anxiety, the autonomic nervous system, the brain, the mechanisms, why do these things happen? And I found myself in Bairnsdale doing a pilot in a job agency. And I had all these people coming to have counselling with me and getting help with their addiction. And it was just incredible. I still get so excited about the stories. Like, one beautiful man came to see me who had bipolar and he was trapped in that cage of this is who I am. And with only, I think it was 6 or 7 sessions, he's working in Melbourne and he's so pumped and so excited. And months later, he's still there. So many miraculous stories. There was one beautiful man, I worked with him for over 12 sessions. So it wasn't the standard 12, but he was really frozen. He'd lost so many people that he loved by death, and his grief was very significant. And we did many trauma release sessions on him, and now he's working. I can't say what as because I'd be breaking confidence, but I just want to say that myself and our team. Now, who are our team and how did that happen? Well, here I am doing this pilot in Bairnsdale. It was fantastic. And these people, and I kept thinking I was working for an opposing company. I was coming up with the concepts, but I was working for them. And I was like, why is no one noticing how amazing these tools are? Like Passionate Life Program. It's tools for your mind, it's tools for depression, anxiety, parenting, relationships, addiction, all these simple, simple tools that are created. And I'm thinking someone's going to tap me on the shoulder and say, wow, you're amazing. Well, the clients kept saying I'm amazing, but nothing really happened. So one day I met this beautiful man called James Witt, and I flew to Sydney and I said, I'm going to show you the program. I'm going to do some of the tools on you and see what you think. And guess what? He said, oh my gosh, let's move forward with this. I'll support you as best I can. And here we are 4.5 years later. Now, James is very busy with his own amazing modalities that he's rolling out, gloves and mats across Australia. But here we are, PLP Solutions, and there's over 20 staff, and we are helping hundreds and hundreds of clients reconnect to their life and feel happy again. And the stories are coming in every single week that I'm putting in the newsletter of clients that are just being miraculously changed. And I just want you to be next. I'm so excited for you. We go at your pace, nothing forced. It's all in accordance with you. So if you are having a hard day and you just want to talk about what's going on with you and your neighbours, we're going to stop everything and work with you. But we've just got these beautiful tools to help change you. There's only one thing that we ask from our clients. What is that? We ask that you just want one thing, and that is to change. And if you want to change, wow, we've got the tools, and I'm so excited for you. Can't wait. I want you to be one of the success stories that I hear about. Have a great day. Changing lives. That's what we do. PLP Solutions.